first of all, our prayers to DeMar Hamlin and the Bills. Certainly thinking about him and his family and his teammates, his coaches. Reached out to Sean McDermott and told him that we were in our team meeting today. We're going to have Teddy, our pastor, come in and say a prayer and a focused prayer on DeMar and his health. We did that today at the team meeting. And also, it's an important time for the players to also use the resources in the building. Like Carla and everybody else, because it hits home. It hits home to the player, the individual player, and also hits home to their loved ones. The loved ones that care about them. So we're very mindful of that. We've been mindful of that since that tragic incident on Monday Night Football. Been talking to the players ever since that. Had a leadership council meeting this morning. To have all the guys in there together, and you can certainly see the impact of that. So that's kind of what we were doing this morning along with the meetings. But that's that. And then, so Justin Fields. All right, so Justin Fields came in on Monday morning with a sore hip. And he, which many times happens to players, they come in with soreness that they didn't anticipate to be like that. And so we sent him to get an MRI. On his hip, and that showed that he had a strain in his hip. So he's not going to be at full speed this week, and the medical staff has ruled him out for this week. This is not a long-term injury, so just so we know that. Nathan Peterman will be the starting quarterback, and then Khalil Herbert will be our honorary captain as well. Okay, so that's a good honor for Khalil. It's excellent for him. He's had a good year. We changed the practice schedule today to a walkthrough, and that's really just because of the health of our football team right now. We think that's give them another day of rest to get ready for Sunday's game. So we did that. We'll be in the WPC. And then the injury report estimation will be out later today, this afternoon, after our walkthrough. And, of course, great to see Hub. Hub, love seeing you, man. I've been praying for you. I know a lot of people have, and it's really good to see you. So appreciate it, man. All right. Okay, with that, open up to questions.
Matt, if this were like a playoff game, would Justin's status be the same?
Yeah, it would be. Yes, it would be the same. Like I said, it's not long-term, but he's just not able to go full speed. I asked him how it was today. He said it's still real sore, so. Yeah, it's like we've said before, the NFL's a fraternity. I mean, these guys are close. We have a couple guys on our team that are close to him. So it's like they obviously feel for him and his family. He's fighting. The guy's fighting for his life right now, and and then they see that reflection in the mirror. I think that's a little bit frightening a little bit. So I think they have to wrap their brain around the violent game they do play, and the risk that they take every single week. And there's these guys are human, and they have parents and loved ones and wives and aunts and uncles that love them just like any other family. So they're not robots out there. So I think that human side of it really came out in that leadership council meeting today.
In that moment Monday night, how did you become aware of what was happening, and what was your initial feeling?
Yeah, I was just down. I was down with the offensive coaches, talking to them, and one of the coaches had it on their TV as he was going through his stuff, and that's how I found out about it. And the reaction was, we're just praying for DeMar and making sure that he's good, and kind of seeing the events as they went on.
Have any of your players expressed a desire not to play or a hesitation to play this week?
No, I mean, just the concerns of where they are in their mental space right now. That's which is great. The reaction that a player has or anybody has about that situation is okay. It's all going to be different. Every person's different, and that's okay to be that way. And again, we just said that we're here, we're supportive. I told the guys to have leadership and lean on each other, to talk through it, and visit today about it. And we're certainly offering up Carla to be able to help after practice if need be, if they want to take advantage of that. But that's where they are.
How do you make sure the guys are in sort of the right mental space, and is it a challenge to maybe get them locked back into playing a game this week?
Yeah, I'm not really concerned about that. I'm concerned more about them as individuals right now. I would just say that, again, time, working through things, give them the space to be able to do that, and really process what's going on. As we get back to our business, in terms of walking through and going through plays and all that, and then we'll work into tomorrow.
Is this an instance where you say to them, I don't know if you have, or would you think about saying to them, I understand if you don't want to play this week?
Well, I understand their feelings. I do, and I do want to listen to all their feelings. That to me is important. The relationship that we've built, not only with me and the players, but also the players with the players and coaches. And so we certainly want to hear what their concerns are.
Matt, with the finale, the franchise could stand to gain if you lose and if the Colts, or if the Texans beat the Colts. What do you say to people that look at Fields not playing skeptically as maybe that helps achieve that end of getting the first overall pick?
Well, I would just go back to our normal operating procedure. So what is it? It's the medical staff. So he didn't clear that hurdle, right? So if he'd have cleared that hurdle, then we'd have to go to the next one, which is the coaches. Is he functioning the way he can function to protect himself, right? And then it's the player. Does he feel good about doing that? So he didn't clear the first one. So that's just where it is.
Do you need some more time to kind of wrap your arms around Justin's season as a whole and what you've seen from him, or do you have a pretty good handle on that right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. We had a visit yesterday when we talked about, him not going this week, with him shutting him down and him, that medical staff saying that he's not going to be able to get it done. And certainly he feels that way too. But, we had a chance to visit a long time about what we're discussing, his improvements and all those things. And again, I want more time to be able to process that and go through it, with the coaches and with him, and so we can have a detailed plan for him going into the offseason, for sure.
As an extension of that, obviously the passing game has been a struggle for much of the year. With Justin as the engine of that, what are some focus areas you want him to be dialed in on as he goes into 2023?
Yeah, just much of what I've said over the course of the season, just the rhythm and timing of it, being able to ride the pocket and deliver the ball down the field. But there's a lot of nuances to that. There's a lot of detail to that, so we're excited about that going forward, into the next week. But our main focus right now is Minnesota. We're focused on them, and we're focused on, getting a victory there in Soldier Field.
Not that one more week would have given you much more of a sample size, but when we talk about Justin as a passer, can you, maybe not now, but do you have enough to evaluate him on as you say he got better in this area, he needs to work in this area, or is it an incomplete grade given the circumstances this season?
Yeah, good question. I would say that it's probably both. To be honest, I think that he did make improvement, though. I mean, you could see where he improved. The scoring offense was really, hitting all cylinders there, midway or a little bit past that. So, I think that had a lot of lineup changes, with the receivers and the offensive line and the running back going out and all those things. But that certainly is impactful to the offense. So you have to be able to look at that.
Justin was day-to-day with a separated shoulder early in the year. Why is this injury much more serious that he's out now?
Yeah, it's just what the doctor said. That's what the doctor said it was. They said he strained his groin and he's not going to be able to go full speed by Sunday. So that's just where it is.
Groin or hip or both?
I'm sorry, it's hip. My bad.
Coach, there was a school of thought, this season outside of the building.
What's that, Herb? I'm sorry.
Outside of the building to start the season, there was a school of thought that 3 or 4 wins would be understandable, if not acceptable, for this season, so long as there was obvious progress collectively and individually for some of the players. Number one, what do you think about that thought? And then number two, where have you seen that progress, both collectively as a team, but also some of your individual players?
Yeah, that's a pretty long answer to that. Yeah.
Last week,
Yeah, I got it. But I'll try to answer that. But really, it's about when you look at the wins and losses and all those things. Certainly, that's disappointing, obviously. But but you see the progress. And to me, it's about foundational floor. You see that, and Justin and I had the conversation yesterday about the leadership that we've had from players and coaches to be able to set the vision and set the direction of how we go about our business and working through our habits every single day. And that's what resonated to him, and that's what resonates to me. Because if you do that over time, and, and you have additional draft picks and all those other things, and you work towards that, and all that improves and all that, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. But you can't have that without the foundational floor of the habits it takes in creating the winning environment that it takes to get that done.
Two more for Jenna McCaskey's turning 100 tomorrow.
Yeah.
What have been the interactions with her since she got here, if any, and what sort of impact does she have on the building here?
Yeah, very impactful. Her first conversation that we had together was over the phone, and her last comment was, she goes, Matt, I'll be your biggest fan. That's what she said to me. And then, then just me talking to her at the gala and some different, events when she's here. She had a lunch with Kelly here one day, which is great. And I got a chance to speak to her then, and just always encouraging, always upbeat, always thoughtful. And it's been a joy to get to know her this last year.
I don't know if it works this way, but are there any players that have kind of earned the right, in your eyes, to get a look on Sunday that have not played? I mean, I don't know if you can just throw them in there, but has anyone earned the earned the right to get a look? And
Yeah. We're going to look at that during the course of the week. We're not making any decisions today, but we certainly are looking at utilizing the guys on our roster, and a lot of times due to injury. There's guys that are injured, the guys that are out, and the guys got to be able to step up and make those contributions.
Or are you referring to someone who maybe has not played yet this year?
Yeah, potentially. We'll look and see how they do. They got to perform in practice first. So we'll look at those guys.